81 Chapter 81 Ancient Dragon Body, Mysterious Power. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 81 Ancient Dragon Body, Mysterious Power. Xianya's explanation made all the freshmen exclaim in admiration. It's the elemental body. With such a unique constitution, he will be a natural elemental user. He can use as many types of elements as he wants. I'm so envious. To have such a constitution, he definitely has to enter the Elemental Academy. Not necessarily. He got first place in his other trials, after all. He doesn't necessarily have to enter the Elemental Academy. I feel that Lu Yu will get first place in the remaining 2 trials. That's not necessarily so. The remaining 2 consist of the Side Job Academy and the Commander Academy. These 2 don't have much to do with strength. Indeed. The most common side job, being a pharmacist, is unrelated to strength. It seems that Lu Yu might not be able to get first place in the following 2 trials. I am a genius pharmacist. In the 4th trial, I will get first place for sure, that the surrounding freshmen were discussing amongst themselves animatedly. Xianya looked at Lu Yu, beside the stone table, with a gaze of appreciation. She was all too eager for Lu Yu to come to her academy. Him having the elemental body alone was enough for Xianya to use any method possible to drag him over. Everyone calmed down from their initial shock and began to continue the trial. Zhao Kai, who had returned to the team, had a hideous expression. Originally immersed in the joy of his powerful fire elemental energy, he was stunned by what happened. He had even relied on that ball of fire elemental energy to mock the other freshmen, extremely arrogantly too, however. Now he was told that the ball of fire elemental energy had nothing to do with him. He could not accept this at all. He glanced at Lu Yu and gritted his teeth. His heart was filled with deep hatred. Why did he have to have an elemental body? I should be the chosen one. Lu Yu wasn't particularly excited when he heard Xianya say that he had an elemental body. He had a feeling that he did not have an elemental body. He understood that the constitution of an elemental body allowed a cultivator to use multiple elements at the same time. However, the increase in elemental energy power was almost negligible. The power of the elemental energy he had just displayed was strikingly strong, even though he had not deliberately cultivated elemental energy. Therefore, Lu Yu felt he did not have an elemental body or a more powerful constitution related to the elementals. Just as Lu Yu was puzzled, a system notification sounded, breaking Lu Yu's confusion. Congratulations to the host for awakening your constitution, ancient dragon body. Lu Yu's eyes widened slightly surprised by this notification, ancient dragon body. Following that, the system notification continued to read, ancient dragon body, inheriting the constitution of an ancient divine dragon, obtaining the power of an ancient divine dragon. The description was concise, but it contained a lot of information. Lu Yu did not expect his constitution to be the ancient dragon body. It was no wonder he could evolve his awakened claw attack into the dragon claw. The description of his constitution was very vague, just saying that he could obtain the power of an ancient divine dragon, his dragon skills, or the eye of the dragon god that he had been using all along, as well as this mighty elemental power, probably came from this constitution. In comparison, the elemental body was laughable, utterly incomparable to the ancient dragon body. Lu Yu was surprised that just an elemental body could make the freshman wild. If he revealed that he had an ancient dragon body instead, they would probably go crazy. Now that he had discovered that he had an ancient dragon body, it was best to keep it a secret. A constitution with such terrifying potential would attract the envy of countless people, after all. Once it was exposed, there would definitely be endless trouble. Very quickly, the Elemental Academy trial was completed. All the freshmen had tested their talent for elemental energy. At the same time, while sensing them, they obtained some elemental energy from the stone tablet. Xianya took out the list she had organized and began announcing the trial's ranking. Without any surprise, Lu Yu was announced in first place again. First place, Lu Yu. Second place, Zhao Kai. Third place. All the freshmen sighed as Xianya continued to read. First place again, for the 3rd time. There are still 2 trials left. Can Lu Yu create history? What kind of background does Lu Yu come from? His strength is suppressing these young masters of the top families. It's ridiculous. At this time, Lu Xiao cleared his throat and said in a deep voice, Lu Yu comes from the Southen Railer state. He got first place in the entrance test in the state, and his family background is average. As soon as Lu Xiao said this, the freshmen present were all dumbfounded. Average family background? Is that true? For cultivators without a strong background, it is difficult even just to improve their strength. Are you kidding? How can his family background be average? Even Zhao Kai is not his match. If his strength were cultivated by himself, it would be outrageous. Zhao Kai asked, Lu Xiao, where did you get the news? Is it true that he couldn't believe Lu Yu didn't have any strong background and was just an ordinary person? Lu Xiao patted his chest confidently, you don't have to doubt my information source. I've asked others to investigate. His family background is indeed average. Moreover, he has no parents and only has his aunt. When the freshmen heard this, they all fell into deep thought. This news was too big of a blow to them, they could accept Lu Yu's abnormal strength. After all, as long as his family had abundant resources, they could nurture a powerhouse with terrifying strength as long as he had outstanding talent, but they couldn't accept that such a powerhouse with abnormal strength didn't have any strong background. His family wasn't just average, it was worse off than most people. However, his strength was enough to beat up these young masters from prestigious families. This made them doubt themselves. Is the gap between us really that big? What kind of talent does he have to be able to increase his strength so quickly? I reckon that his talent is at least S level. Otherwise, it's impossible. Zhao Kai looked at Lu Xiao. He was unwilling but continued to ask, what kind of talent does Lu Yu have? Zhao Kai wouldn't say much if Lu Yu were lucky and had a high-level talent, but if his talent were average, he would be completely unable to accept it. At that moment, the freshmen all looked at Lu Xiao, looking forward to his answer. They were already estimating that Lu Yu's talent should have at least a few S's. He should be at least S level. Otherwise, his strength wouldn't be so terrifying. To be able to attend here, the worst is an A grade. His talent should at least be SS level. I think that he should be at the end, the SSS level. Otherwise, it doesn't explain his previous performance. At this moment, Lu Xiao took a deep breath and slowly said, everyone, since you all want to know so much, then I'll be straightforward with you all. Lu Yu's talent is F level. 82 Chapter 82A Talent Only F level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 82A Talent Only F level. The moment Lu Xiao finished speaking, the freshmen present were all stunned. Everyone's expression was stiff, and they were silent. They wanted to refute his words, believing that Lu Xiao's words were fake and nonsense. However, they all knew Lu Xiao's identity. He was the son of one of the top financial families in Ixtale. The Lu Financial Group was one of the top 5 financial groups in Ixtale. They were powerful and were involved in various businesses all over the country. At the same time, their intelligence network spread all over the country. They didn't dare question the source of his information. If they did, it would be a slap to the face of the Lu Financial Group and an insult to the strength of the Lu Financial Group. Really, it's just an F level. The record must be wrong. F level is the worst talent. No, how would an F level get to where he is today? In the recruitment history of Clannorth University, there has never been a cultivator below B level, right? Oh, I finally understand why the academy would treat Lu Yu so specially. He is indeed a special case. Everyone had mixed feelings. Anyone encountering such a strange thing would have mixed feelings, especially those geniuses with S-level talent. At that moment, they felt a wave of pain in their hearts as their understanding had been broken. Lu Xiao said very confidently, the two of you are really trash. Guess I have no choice but to deal with him myself. His talent level must have been a mistake. However, I will let him know who the boss is in the next 2 trials. That when Zhao Kai heard this, he immediately became unhappy and walked toward Lu Xiao, saying, who are you calling trash? That he was born into a prestigious family and was regarded as a genius from a young age. He was called trash by someone, and it angered him. However, Just as he took 2 steps forward, a group of people surrounded him. Young Master Zhao, if you want to survive in this world, strength is only one of the aspects you need. Do you know that wealth is also very important? No matter how ancient your family's heritage is, what use is it without money? After Lu Xiao finished speaking, a dozen underlings beside him burst into laughter. They had been bought over by Lu Xiao with money and had become Lu Xiao's underlings long ago. On the other hand, Zhao Kai, who came from an aristocratic family, had a sense of pride in himself. He felt disdainful towards recruiting underlings with money. Lu Xiao, I'd like to see what kind of methods you have to deal with that fellow. Zhao Kai said coldly and then took 2 steps back. Lu Xiao smiled to himself. Of course, I'll use money to deal with him. At that moment, Xianya announced the rankings for this trial. She kept the name list and looked at the crowd. The rankings have been announced. Everyone, please get ready to proceed to the next trial. As we have already gone through 3 trials today, and they are the weapons and combat techniques trials that consume your stamina and energy, everyone should go back and rest for the time being. The remaining 2 trials will be held tomorrow. A teleportation door appeared in front of everyone, leading straight to the square in the academy. The freshmen walked into the teleportation door one after another. Lu Yu followed the crowd and walked into the teleportation door together. After exiting the teleportation gate, the freshmen dispersed and went to do their own things. Only after the 5 trials have ended will they be assigned to different academies. Hence, they could only wait patiently. When the crowd dispersed, Lu Yu scanned his surroundings to find Yun Zairu and Su Qing. They were living together now, so Lu Yu was responsible for driving them back. After scanning his surroundings, Lu Yu still could not find where Yun Zairu and Su Qing were. At that moment, Lu Yu felt someone gently pat his shoulder. He turned around and saw Yun Zairu and Su Qing standing behind him, smiling at him. You two, playing hide-and-seek with me. Let's go. It's time to go back. As Lu Yu spoke, he took the lead and walked toward the parking area. Yun Zairu and Su Qing hurriedly followed behind him. Both of them revealed cheerful smiles. Your performance today was amazing. I didn't know you were so strong, Su Qing said, with a face full of surprise. Lu Yu asked, didn't you know my strength from before? During the previous exam, I didn't hide my strength. Yes, I've seen it. I didn't expect you to be strong in all offense, defense, speed, and elemental aspects. You really scared me. Yun Zairu added, Su Qing is right. For an ordinary person, cultivating one aspect to the extreme is already remarkable. Looking at you being excellent in all aspects, we were shocked. Then, Yun Zairu suddenly thought of something. She frowned slightly and said, I just heard from others that you only have an F-level talent. Is that true? Before Lu Yu could speak, Su Qing hurriedly said, I can testify since we were classmates. He indeed has an F-level talent. Yun Zairu slightly opened her tiny mouth and looked at Lu Yu with some surprise. So it's true that you have an F-level talent. Even if you don't eat or drink and just cultivate all the time, it would still be impossible to have this kind of strength with that talent level. I want to ask how you increased your strength. I hope you don't mind. Lu Yu revealed a gentle smile and explained, my understanding of my talent is not complete, so it's hard to explain. There was no problem with his explanation. Lu Yu's original talent was Claw Attack, but it evolved into Dragon Claw. He was now told that he had an ancient dragon body. This had too many implications, and even he couldn't explain it clearly. Most importantly, these things were not recorded in the textbooks. He could not find any relevant information, so he naturally could not understand the whole gist of it. Yun Zairu nodded. Looks like your talent is a little special. You must explore it properly. At that moment, the 3 of them arrived in front of Lu Yu's car. Lu Yu opened the car door, and the 3 sat inside it. They drove towards the villa area. Lu Yu, the next trials will be at the Side Job Academy and the Commanding Academy. How are you doing in these 2 areas? Su Qing asked. Lu Yu thought for a moment and shook his head slightly. I don't have a side job or know anything about the Commanding Academy. However, I'll take it one step at a time. It's useless to try hard at the last moment anyway. Su Qing and Yun Zairu both nodded in agreement. Yun Zairu felt that it was a pity. You have already gotten first place in the first 3 trials. It would be a pity if you didn't get first place in the last 2. Su Qing said in agreement, that's right. Getting first place in all 5 trials would be unprecedented in the university's history. You would definitely be valued by them greatly. To be able to excel in all 5 aspects, you will be an all-rounder. Moreover, you will be someone who can defeat others in all aspects. Clanorth Academy would highly value such a talent. Generally speaking, an all-rounder could go higher and further. Yun Zairu explained slowly. Her family background was not ordinary, and she was aware of more information. She could see that Lu Yu's future achievements would not be ordinary. She sighed in her heart. It appears that she did not choose the wrong person after all. Very quickly, the car was parked back in the villa's garage. After the 3 got out of the car, they stretched their bodies tiredly. Sleep early today and prepare for tomorrow's trial. As Lu Yu spoke, he went upstairs and prepared to sleep. Yun Zairu and Su Qing also went back to their rooms to sleep. At that moment, the freshman group chat was already abuzz with chatter. The hot topic of discussion was, of course, Lu Yu and tomorrow's trial. Most people were optimistic about Lu Yu's performance in the following 2 trials. However, many people felt that Lu Yu would not be able to obtain any good results in the subsequent trials. In their eyes, no one was perfect. Since Lu Yu had obtained first place 3 times, it would be impossible for him to continue to obtain first place in the remaining 2. Soon, the night fell, and the entire Clanorth University fell silent. All the students fell asleep one after another. Morning soon arrived. Accompanied by the hazy morning light, the freshmen came to the university square in high spirits. They could not wait to start the last 2 trials and were eager to see Lu Yu's next performance. Soon, a luxury car drove into the square, attracting the freshmen's attention. 83 Chapter 83 Pharmaceutical Expert, 4-star Pharmacist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 83 Pharmaceutical Expert, 4-star Pharmacist. When Lu Yu's luxurious car appeared, it attracted the attention of countless people. Lu Yu is here. I'm really looking forward to his next performance. Every time he opens the car door, I'm miffed. I also want to drive such a luxurious car. I get sour only when the back seat door of his car opens. It's infuriating. Lu Yu opened the car door and walked toward the crowd. Lu Yu no longer cared about the stares from the crowd. He would gladly drive it since the university had given him a car. Since the university wanted him to be targeted, why should he care about the envy of the other students? With his outstanding results, it was already impossible for him to keep a low profile. Very soon, the 5 deans walked up to the podium. A man walked to the microphone with a bright smile. The amiable smile on his face was like a spring breeze. Hello, everyone. My name is Li Yun, and I am the Dean of the Side Job Academy. The next trial is the Side Job Trial. Everyone knows that among all the side jobs, only pharmacists are the most valuable and the most important. Therefore, this trial tests your ability to brew medicine. Is everyone ready? That when the freshmen heard this, they shouted, ready, that they didn't even need to think to know that the trial of the Side Job Academy was definitely to create medicine. After all, pharmacists have a very high standing in this world. They were much more valuable than the side jobs such as chefs and blacksmiths. At that moment, an array formation extended, and a teleportation door slowly opened. Go through the teleportation door and begin the 4th trial. I wish you all good luck. After Li Yun finished speaking, the freshmen entered the teleportation door. Lu Yu, Yun Zairu, and Su Qing lined up at the end of the line as they followed the line forward. Have you concocted medicine before? If you don't have any experience, it would be troublesome. Yun Zairu asked worriedly. She really wanted to see Lu Yu get first place in all 5 trials. If he succeeded in doing so, she would be able to witness history being made. Lu Yu thought for a moment and said, I've concocted it a few times, but they are all medicines with simple materials and structures with a low difficulty. Lu Yu recalled that he had concocted 2 bottles of evolution medicine when evolving his dragon claws. the first was when he had evolved from claw attack to a dragon claw, and the other was from dragon claw to flaming dragon claw. Although he only did it twice, the materials he used were not ordinary. Soon, they entered another space. Many workstations were placed along the walls in this dark and empty room. On the workstations were various alchemy tools used to process materials and brew medicine. After the freshmen came to the space, they saw a figure standing in the middle of the room. That person turned around and looked at the crowd. "I am the instructor of this trial. This trial will be conducted under my supervision." The crowd looked carefully and found that the person standing there was a white-bearded old man. He had a white beard and a squarish face. He was wearing a brown leather jacket and blue jeans. Just by looking at his outfit, he looked like a man of science and engineering, completely different from the other instructors in suits. However, many freshmen from Ixtale knew the old man's true identity. Rather than saying he was an instructor, it was more accurate to say he was a businessman. He was a famous pharmacist in Ixtale. His brewing skills were well known for their efficacy. Many pharmaceutical companies in Ixtale had hired him as a technical consultant. No matter how ridiculous the price he asked for, these companies would lick his shoes and beg him to join them. Throughout his life, he relied on his pharmaceutical skills to earn an uncountable amount of wealth, envied by many. Not only had such a rich man come here to be an instructor, but he had also repeatedly stated that he did not like money. He never really wanted money, and his biggest dream was to be a teacher. These words made many angry, as they had never met such a pretentious person. This person's name was Chen Sheng, and everyone from Ixtale knew him. When the freshmen saw him, they were so shocked that they couldn't speak. They were all astonished to be able to meet such a person here. What they didn't expect the most was that such a person would actually become their instructor. "Everyone, I don't want to waste my time on you guys. Recently, I've been researching the dim dragon blood secret medicine, and have reached a critical moment." When he said this, the freshmen were somewhat unhappy. It was obvious that he was looking down on them. However, they quickly changed their minds when they heard it was the dim dragon blood secret medicine that Chen Xing mentioned. This medicine was a 5-star medicine, and it was challenging and required extremely precious materials. Just the processing of the materials alone required more than 10 processes. The whole process of making this medicine was complicated. This medicine was critical to Chen Sheng as he was currently a 4-star pharmacist in the Pharmacists Union in Ixtale. However, once he developed this 5-star medicine, he would immediately be promoted to a 5-star pharmacist. At that time, he could join the Advanced Pharmacists Conference and have a pivotal position in the entire Pharmacists Union. But now, instead of developing such a critical medicine, he had specially come over to be an instructor for the freshman trials. This puzzled all of them. "Everyone should be curious as to why I am not focusing on developing my 5-star medicine and instead came over to be your instructor." All the freshmen looked at Chen Xing curiously. "The reason is that I heard there is a freshman with the elemental body constitution. This constitution is very suitable for being a pharmacist, so I especially came over to supervise your trials. Do you understand?" That the new students nodded one after another and then looked at Lu Yu. Elemental body constitution. That should be Lu Yu. They were all a little surprised. They did not expect that the elemental body constitution would be so important that it would attract Chen Xing to come here. Lu Yu is amazing. He actually managed to attract Chen Sheng. That's normal. Just remember what level Lu Yu is at now. Wouldn't it be normal for him to be valued by big shots? That's true. He got 3 first places and has definitely become the focus of the entire Clannorth University. The freshmen swelled and felt that Lu Yu deserved such treatment. In the crowd, Lu Yu sized up Chen Sheng. Although this person was smiling, Lu Yu could tell he was faking it. This guy said he came for the elemental body, but he didn't even ask who had it and didn't mention it anymore. Lu Yu felt that what he said about coming here for the elemental body was probably just a pretense. How could an elemental body constitution be rare with his status and status? Lu Yu didn't know why he had to hide his true intentions or why he wanted to be an instructor, but it was better to be careful. In the freshman team, Lu Xiao used his finger to poke Zhao Kai beside him secretly. Zhao Kai glanced at him and asked, "What's the matter?" Lu Xiao leaned on his ear and whispered, "I am the one who called Chen Xing here." 84 Chapter 84 A Bribed Judge. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 84. A Bribed judged that I and the freshman team. Lu Xiao leaned on Zhao Kai's ear and whispered something. Someone noticed it but did not dare to say anything. When Zhao Kai heard Lu Xiao's words, his eyes immediately widened. He asked in a low voice, "Why did you call Qinsheng over?" But he did not doubt Lu Xiao's words because he knew that Lu Xiao had the ability to command Qinsheng. Qinsheng had worked as a technical consultant for many large enterprises. Among them, the Lu family's consultant fee was the highest. The more money they gave, the more attention Qinsheng paid to them. Lu Xiao continued, "I called him over to support us. That Lu Yu has already won first place 3 times. He won't be able to get first place in this trial." Zhao Kai shrugged his shoulders disapprovingly and said, "I remember you've learned a lot from Qinsheng, so you should be pretty good in the pharmaceutical field. Why are you afraid of Lu Yu? What if he's hiding something? I'll definitely get first place in this trial. With Qinsheng as our instructor, I'll be guaranteed to get first place in this trial. He can give me some help and give Lu Yu some trouble at the same time. Since that's the case, it'll be easy for me to get first place. This is the power of money. No matter how strong Lu Yu is, he's still a peasant. How can he be compared to me?" Zhao Kai nodded. "Money makes the world turn. Although our family has an ancient heritage, we can't compare to you in terms of wealth." Lu Xiao smiled smugly. At the same time, he glared fiercely at Lu Yu. He wanted nothing more than to end Lu Yu's winning streak right here. Zhao Kai looked at Su Mao beside him and hurriedly repeated Lu Xiao's words in a low voice. At that moment, Su Mao had almost recovered from his injuries after a night of resting. However, his face was still a little pale, and it seemed he had suffered internal injuries. When he heard this, a brilliant smile appeared on his gloomy face. "That's great. We must teach that guy a lesson and break his arrogance." Su Mao clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. He still did not dare to say anything about how he was beaten up by Lu Yu yesterday. It was too embarrassing. Moreover, after that slap, he was traumatized. Whenever he saw Lu Yu, he would feel a wave of fear. Now, he did not even dare to look at Lu Yu anymore. He could only curse at Lu Yu silently in his heart. The 3 of them were confident that Lu Yu wouldn't do well in this trial. The judge was all on their side. It would be a miracle if Lu Yu's results were even just good. At that moment, Qinsheng looked at the group of freshmen and said calmly, "Everyone, let me explain the rules to you. The trial is divided into 2 parts. One part is finishing your main task, and the other additional task is to achieve further and beyond. The main task is to brew a bottle of 1-star medicine. You pass the main task as long as you can concoct a 1-star medicine. If you could come up with a higher star medicine, that would be even better. The purpose of the main task is to test your basic pharmaceutical capabilities. If you don't even have this basic capability, then there's no need for you to participate in the subsequent additional tasks. For the additional task, you are to draw lots to brew a higher difficulty medicine randomly. The higher the star ranking of the medicine, the higher your score will be." After saying that, Qinsheng looked at Lu Yu. He had already made a plan according to the rules. He could let Lu Yu pass the main task, but he would never let Lu Yu pass the additional task. The additional task was random, but he could determine what Lu Yu was to draw. Therefore, he could tamper with the task so Lu Yu would get an extremely difficult medicine to brew. Qinsheng smiled confidently. Such a small matter was a piece of cake for him. When the freshmen heard Qinsheng's words, they started debating. "We are going to start our brewing. I'm getting a little nervous. I've never touched these things before. What if they explode? Damn, I usually just take a few materials and mix them. I've never used any of this equipment before. I feel like it's going to be very difficult. Although I'm a pharmacist, I've never seen these tools before." The freshmen were all very worried. They were unfamiliar with making medicine, as they usually bought it off the shelf. Even those who majored in pharmacy were extremely nervous at this moment. Among the crowd, only Lu Xiao had a calm expression on his face. He had the experience of using all this top-tier pharmaceutical manufacturing equipment in his family company. Thus, he was relaxed and did not feel even the slightest bit of nervousness. Now, begin your trial. The materials have been prepared. Please give your best efforts to complete the task given. Chen Xing shouted. The crowd dispersed one after another. The students went to the workbench and began to prepare their respective concoctions. Lu Yu also went to a workbench and began to prepare his medicine brew. The simplest potion was the life potion. After drinking it, it would replenish the drinker's health. Lu Yu first gathered the medicinal ingredients from the medicine cabinet. He took out the blood flower, the red essence vine, and the essence accumulation root. First, he crushed the blood flower to get juice from it. After obtaining the blood red juice, he placed it into a reagent bottle. Next, he took out the red essence vine, crushed it into a fine powder, and sprinkled it into the red juice. Finally, he took out the essence accumulation root. He mixed it with pure spring water, crushed it into a viscous liquid, and added it to the reagent bottle. According to his memory, he should have completed the life potion. One could instantly replenish 100 health points after drinking it. The replenishment speed of the life potion was much faster than that of the recovery potion. However, the materials required were also more precious. Lu Yu took the reagent bottle and placed it on the inspection equipment. Failed. A notification sounded. That was how Lu Yu knew that he hadn't succeeded in producing a life potion. He could only continue to study and think of a way to reformulate it. At that moment, Lu Xiao shouted, "I've finished concocting it. Moreover, it's a 2-star potion." His loud shout attracted everyone's attention. "Shit, so fast. Awesome, man, you completed it just like that. Not to mention it's a 2-star potion. Impressive, as expected of a genius pharmacist." Listening to the praises around him, Lu Xiao raised his head proudly and could not help but glance at Lu Yu. When he saw Lu Yu buried in his research, he could not help but reveal a proud smile. He could finally defeat Lu Yu in this area. As for the other two, Zhao Kai and Su Mao were also happy. Lu Xiao's performance had finally given them hope of defeating Lu Yu. After Lu Xiao finished brewing his potion, a few other freshmen also finished making their medicine. However, most of them were 1-star medicines, the lowest grade of recovery potion. At most, they could recover 30 to 40 health points. Until now, there were already 30 to 40 new students who had completed the production of their medicines. However, all of them were 1-star potions. 1-star potions were something that could be easily produced, therefore, this basic task was a freebie to them. Only a tiny number of people with no experience in concocting potions wouldn't be able to do it. At that moment, everyone's gaze was on Lu Yu, as he had yet to produce his potion. 85 Chapter 85 Additional Task, Drawing Lots. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 85 Additional Task, Drawing Lots. The other freshmen finished brewing their medicine one after another. Soon, only Lu Yu was left. He stood before his workbench, continuing to brew his medicine seriously. Everyone looked at Lu Yu's back and couldn't help but sigh. Looks like we finally found Lu Yu's weakness. He's not good in terms of being a pharmacist. He won't be able to get the first place this time. Someone laughed gloatingly. He's not up for this. If he can't get the first place in this side job trial, the trial of the commanding academy will probably be even harder for him. I didn't expect Lu Yu's pharmaceutical capability to be this weak. It's been so long, and he still hasn't finished his brewing. At this moment, Lu Xiao stared at Lu Yu's back and laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, that's it. I thought he would be more powerful than this. What a waste of my time and energy. Lu Xiao was secretly miffed. If he knew that Lu Yu's pharmaceutical skills were this bad, he would not have bothered to get Chen Xing here. A few of Lu Xiao's underlings around him chimed in. Boss, you will definitely be number one in this trial. Lu Yu's arrogance has reached its peak. Next, it's our stage. Boss, you are the best. In terms of medicine brewing, beating 10 Lu Yu is not a problem. Boss's pharmaceutical skills are unparalleled in the world. No one can match him. Listening to his underlings' compliments, the corners of Lu Xiao's mouth curled up proudly. A smile could not be stopped from showing on his face. When the other freshmen heard this, they also sighed. Lu Yu had finally fallen from the altar. At that moment, Lu Yu was still thoughtfully staring at the medicinal herbs in his hand. Chen Xing came over and looked at him carefully. Why don't you give up? Don't torture yourself. Without the talent, there would be no result even if you persevere. He began to persuade him. His mission here was to help Lu Xiao eliminate Lu Yu. If he could eliminate Lu Yu, he would easily receive his reward. Lu Yu did not respond. He just poured the liquid in his hand into the reagent bottle, then, he took the potion bottle and put it on a machine. Pass. The potion is a 1-star life potion. A robotic notification sounded, and everyone looked over. He's finally done. It looks like it was not easy for him. He barely passed the basic task. With such skills, he will be eliminated by the additional task. That's right. There's a gap between the main task and the additional task. This gap isn't something that an ordinary person can cross. He finished the main task after using so much effort. It's better for him to forget about the additional task. Although the surrounding freshmen saw that Lu Yu had completed the main task, they weren't optimistic about Lu Yu's future results. When Lu Xiao saw this, he stopped smiling but was still very confident. Is there any point in struggling? I'll let you know what a pharmaceutical genius is, that the subordinate next to him immediately shouted. Boss, let him see what despair is. I believe that big boss will definitely win first place. He finished completing the basic task last, so the additional task will not be any better. Maybe he will be last in the competition this time, that the people below the stage mocked and ridiculed him. Almost no one thought highly of Lu Yu. If he had completed the basic task with such difficulty, he would probably be eliminated immediately in the additional task. Lu Yu ignored the comments of the people around him and just handed the bottle to Qin Sheng. Qin Sheng opened the bottle cap and sniffed it carefully. Then he nodded slightly and said, "It's not bad, the quality is very pure. You've passed. Prepare for the additional task trial." Lu Yu returned to the team. Everyone stopped talking and waited for Qin Sheng's next instructions. In the crowd, Yun Zairu, who was beside Lu Yu, asked in a low voice, "Do you have confidence in the additional task?" Lu Yu answered confidently, "Of course I have confidence." Is there a need to ask? The doubts of others did not affect Lu Yu at all. When Lu Yu was preparing the life potion, he used the eye of the dragon god and glanced at the materials he was preparing to synthesize. The eye of the dragon god gave him the detailed process of preparation needed. When Lu Yu took up one of the materials, the eye of the dragon god could let him know all the potions that could be synthesized using this material. At the same time, he could also look at the detailed formulas of those potions. His eye of the dragon god transformed Lu Yu into a walking encyclopedia for pharmacists. He would clearly know what kind of medicine to make and how to make it from his ingredients. The reason why he was so slow in making the potion was actually that he was looking at other kinds of different medicines. After getting this ability, Lu Yu had the confidence he needed to do well. Thus, this was why he was not bothered by the ill will of the people around him. Yun Zairu did not know why Lu Yu was so confident, but she still cheered him on. "Alright, work hard. I believe that you can do it." Su Qing also revealed a sweet smile and cheered him on. "I believe that you can get first place again." Lu Yu smiled faintly and nodded slightly. "You guys too. Work hard." At that moment, Chen Sheng walked to the front of the crowd and held a box in his hands. "Next, we will proceed to the additional task. Each of you will come forward and draw a lot to determine what medicine you will make. The lot you draw cannot be changed. Otherwise, it will be considered as giving up on the trial. Line up and draw the lots one by one." After Chen Sheng finished speaking, the freshmen lined up and began to draw lots one after another. 2-star speed-up potion. Lucky. It's not that difficult. Mine is a 2-star potion strength-enhancing potion. It's not bad too. Hey, how did I draw a 3-star potion? It's over for me. It's over. I also got a 3-star potion. I don't even have any pharmaceutical experience. The freshmen drew lots one after another. Some of them were in twisted expressions of pain, while others were excited and happy. At that moment, it was Lu Xiao's turn to draw. He reached out and casually took out one. After opening it, he immediately chuckled. It's just a 3-star potion. There's no challenge at all. This is too boring. Lu Xiao had a relaxed look on his face. A 3-star potion was not difficult for him at all. He glanced at the other new students and found that they did not have much confidence that they could handle a 3-star potion. He felt much more at ease. Looks like I'll definitely be number 1 in this trial. All of you can give up as soon as possible. That everyone was unable to refute Lu Xiao's arrogant words. They also believed that the number 1 this time would be Lu Xiao. In the field of high-end pharmaceuticals, it was impossible to be good at it without being rich. After all, those rare materials require a large amount of money. Without financial resources, it was impossible to get good at it. However, Lu Xiao's family did not lack money. It was Lu Yu's turn to draw, and he went up to Chen Sheng. Chen Sheng looked at Lu Yu and smiled. There was a mechanism inside the lottery box in his hand. Once activated, the original lot would be replaced with another. 86 Chapter 86 Rigging the Draw. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 86 Rigging the Draw. Chen Sheng secretly reached out his hand and triggered the box's mechanism. Soon, a partition in the lucky draw box began to move. It differed from the usual lot you would get when reaching your hand into the box. Now, reaching your hand in would give you another set of lots. They were all the same lots, prepared by Chen Sheng in advance. Lu Yu reached into the box and casually took a piece of paper. He opened the paper and looked at it. He smiled skeptically and said, "Instructor Chen, this is the dim dragon blood secret medicine." "Are you kidding me?" Chen Sheng said earnestly. "There's no problem with that. Your luck is bad, and you just happened to draw this. You can't blame anyone else." However, when the others heard this, they were all dumbfounded. Lu Yu drew a 5-star potion. Is this a joke? Chen Sheng himself can't even make this bottle of 5-star potion. How is he letting a freshman make it? Damn, this is game over. Lu Yu can't make that. Of course. He nearly died trying to make a 1-star potion. How in heaven would he brew this thing? That at that moment, Lu Xiao looked at Chen Sheng and revealed a faint smile. He did not expect Chen Sheng to act so ridiculously, dumping the task of brewing a bottle of 5-star potion on Lu Yu. This was simply over the top. He exclaimed silently that his money was really well spent. Lu Yu looked at Chen Sheng and said mockingly, "You can't even handle this by yourself, and you want a freshman to help you complete it. As expected of a great pharmacist. Your method of coming up with medicine is simply brilliant." That the corner of Chen Sheng's mouth twitched. "If you're willing to make it, then make it. If you want to give up, I won't say anything." He was hoping Lu Yu would give up so he could easily receive the money. "Don't worry. I didn't say that I was not going to make it. But I heard that as long as someone can make this 5-star medicine, they will be rewarded with 5 million in cash, right?" Chen Sheng could not help but laugh. "Wait. Are you still thinking about the 5 million? Do you think that you can concoct the potion? Don't think that just because you concoct a basic potion, you think that you can do it. The gap between each star is a huge rift that can't be easily bridged. Do you even understand that?" Lu Yu continued to ask. "Then what if I can concoct it? What makes you think that I can't do it?" "Alright, I'll cut to the chase since you're so confident. I'll pay for all the materials cost if you can concoct this 5-star potion. When the time comes, I'll pay you an extra 10 million out of my pocket, along with the 5 million reward from the Pharmacists' Union. What do you think?" Lu Yu nodded in satisfaction. "No problem, it's a deal." Chen Sheng sneered. He felt that Lu Yu was daydreaming. "Do you really think that you can get these rewards?" When the other freshmen heard the conversation between the two, they started chatting. "Bro, is Lu Yu serious? Does he really want to try concocting this 5-star medicine? Where does he get his confidence from? Even Lu Xiao doesn't dare to say that he can concoct a 5-star medicine. Even Instructor Chen couldn't do it. How could he do it? Don't overthink it. He must be bragging. Please don't tell me there's a fool who thinks he can concoct a 5-star potion." At that moment, Lu Xiao opened his mouth and mocked, "He's just a dead duck. Watch as how I will crush him, I will let him see what a true pharmaceutical genius is." The underlings beside him quickly echoed, boss is right. Let him see what a pharmaceutical genius is. He's just a guy from a remote town. What right does he have to compete with boss? Ha! I'm afraid he won't be able to afford one of the herbs that boss usually plays with. The surrounding underlings all burst into laughter. Chen Xing looked at the crowd and shouted, "The trial is about to begin. Go ahead, make your own preparations, and prep the ingredients in advance. After you finish making the medicine, come and show it to me." After saying that, the freshmen began to take action one after another. They walked toward the medicine cabinet and began rummaging through it, looking for the needed ingredients. Among all of them, only Lu Yu stood in place. When the others saw this, they thought Lu Yu had given up. However, when Lu Yu opened his eye of the dragon god, a panel appeared before him. The panel showed the formulas of various mixtures and the steps of making various medicines. Lu Yu quickly found the dim dragon blood secret medicine. He opened it and read through the required materials and steps. This was like a manual telling Lu Yu all the steps he needed to know. Lu Yu exclaimed silently that the eye of the dragon god was indeed remarkable. It helped him out in a pinch yet again. Lu Yu began to move after grasping the required materials and steps. He went to the medicine cabinet and started to collect the medicinal ingredients. The first ingredient that Lu Yu got was the deer antler of a flower spirit deer. The probability of encountering a flower spirit deer in the wild was less than 5%. Every single one of them was highly precious. This segment of deer antler that was the size of a finger alone would have cost nearly $1 million to purchase. The second medicinal ingredient that Lu Yu took was earth dragon essence blood. Similarly, it was worth nearly $1 million. It was extremely rare. Following that, Lu Yu began to take a third medicinal herb. At that moment, Chen Xing felt strange. The medicinal herbs that Lu Yu took were almost all correct. Could it be that he really knew how to concoct this medicine? Chen Xing immediately shook his head. He refuses to accept such a possibility. On the other hand, Lu Xiao quickly finished collecting his medicinal herbs. With a smug smile, he began to concoct the medicine. It's too easy. There's no difficulty at all. It looks like I will be the champion of this trial. You bunch of peasants, you'll never be able to be a pharmacist in your life. Lu Xiao's proud laughter caused his underlings to cheer. Big brother, you're awesome. You've won first place. Boss, you'll definitely have a place as a 5-star pharmacist in the future. Lu Yu is a poor peasant, after all. He can't afford to play with a high-end profession like a pharmacist. Of course, he can't be compared to you. Hearing the cheers from his underlings, Lu Xiao revealed a satisfied smile. Soon, Lu Yu collected the needed materials and began preparing the medicine. Seeing this, Chen Xing immediately walked over and said sternly, "What are you doing with so many precious medicinal herbs?" Lu Yu was speechless. What do you think? The medicinal herbs you took, added together, are worth more than 10 million. If you can't concoct the medicine and waste so much money, who will be responsible? Lu Yu was instantly displeased. You gave me the task of brewing a bloody 5-star medicine, and you didn't want me to use any high-grade materials. What was this bullshit? Instructor Chen, should I use materials from a roadside stall to refine this 5-star potion, then? If I'm not allowed to use these materials, how am I supposed to concoct a 5-star potion? At that moment, Lu Xiao shouted unhappily, "You can't brew it at all. Using it is a waste, so it's better not to use it. I suggest you just admit defeat. Stop struggling. It's meaningless." 87 Chapter 87 5-star Potion, completed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 87 5-star Potion, completed. At that moment, Lu Yu was in a difficult situation. Chen Xing was basically telling Lu Yu that he was intentionally messing with him and that he should give up. He wanted to brew a 5-star potion but wasn't allowed to take any high-grade materials. How could he make something without the necessary ingredients? However, Lu Yu would never give up. He had to take first place in this trial. I will definitely be able to concoct this 5-star potion. I have to use these materials as well. Do you understand? Lu Yu's words made Chen Xing unhappy. You think you can do it just because you say you can? Who do you think you are, a god? Lu Xiao shouted, it's a waste to put these things in your hands. Don't even think about wasting them. The two sides were in a stalemate, and no one was willing to give up. Standing behind Chen Sheng, Lu Xiao and a few underlings backed him up. Yun Zairu and Su Qing cheered for Lu Yu beside him. Suddenly, a light suddenly lit up beside them. The light opened and turned into a teleportation door. Then, 3 middle-aged men in gray robes walked in. Seeing this, Chen Sheng asked respectfully, Mr. Huang, why are you here? Lu Yu looked at the man and saw the symbol of the Pharmacists' Union on his chest. He instantly knew who they were. These 3 people were all members of the Pharmacists' Union. I heard that you're holding the freshman trial here, so I came to take a look, said the man called Mr. Huang. At that moment, he suddenly saw the neatly arranged materials on the workbench. He walked over with a face full of surprise and couldn't help but exclaim, Chen Sheng, I didn't expect you to improve this greatly. You figured out all the materials so quickly. Hearing this, Chen Sheng was instantly dumbfounded. The materials on the table were the ones that Lu Yu had collected. It had nothing to do with him. Mr. Huang, are you serious? Are these materials correct? He asked in disbelief. Mr. Huang nodded slightly. Of course. It seems that you will be able to refine this 5-star medicine and advance to a 5-star pharmacist soon. He smiled with joy. However, Chen Sheng was shocked instead of happy. He lowered his head and fell into deep thought. Lu Xiao, who was beside him, also had an incredulous expression. Sir, are you serious? Are those really the right materials? Mr. Huang nodded. Of course. Otherwise, why would I be congratulating him? Chen Sheng and Lu Xiao were both stunned. Lu Yu took a step forward and looked at the pharmacist who had just arrived. Mr. Huang, I am the one who collected the materials on the table. It has nothing to do with Chen Sheng. Hearing this, Mr. Huang was taken aback. He looked at Lu Yu and asked, You? Really? He looked at Chen Sheng and saw that Chen Sheng didn't deny it. He looked at Lu Yu in surprise. Are these really the materials you collected? None of them are wrong. Lu Yu nodded slightly, I collected them. Chen Sheng shouted, he just happened to collect them by accident. He's not a pharmacist, so could he make a 5-star potion? Mr. Huang, you don't understand. He even had difficulties brewing a 1-star potion. How could he make a 5-star potion? Lu Xiao quickly agreed, that's right. He was just lucky and just happened to pick the right ingredients. If he were to start making the potion, he wouldn't be able to make it. Hearing the two's words, Mr. Huang pondered for a moment before looking at Lu Yu. Since that's the case, then come and prove it. Let us see if you know how to make a 5-star medicine or not. Lu Yu walked to the workbench and started to concoct the medicine. Chen Sheng and Lu Xiao were both speechless. They didn't expect these 3 from the Pharmacists' Union to come and disrupt their plans suddenly. The 2 looked at Lu Yu nervously, afraid that Lu Yu would accidentally finish making the potion. At that moment, Lu Yu's eyebrows were tightly knit as he was seriously processing the herbs in his hand. He walked back and forth in front of a few workbenches and used all kinds of tools and instruments to complete the processing of the materials until he extracted the essence and gathered it. Gradually, a brand new potion bottle appeared in his hand under Lu Yu's busy work. He held the medicine and placed it in front of everyone. It's done. Just like that. Chen Sheng did not believe it was done. Just now, Lu Yu's actions were too clean and neat, with no extra movement. He did not look like a novice pharmacist at all. Instead, his movements made it seem like he was an expert pharmacist with rich experience. He could not understand what was going on. He had tried making this medicine countless times but could not get it done. How did this young man complete it this easily before him? Lu Xiao, next to him, shouted, Who are you fooling? This is just a potion you simply made, so stop pretending. You can't make the dim dragon blood secret potion. Mr. Huang, next to him, carefully picked up the bottle and observed it. It's surprisingly similar. Maybe this is the dim dragon blood secret potion, but I'm not too sure. He placed the medicine on the testing machine beside him. Soon, a few words appeared on the screen of the machine. Verified, 5-star medicine, dim dragon blood secret medicine. This announcement confirmed that this bottle of medicine made by Lu Yu was indeed the real deal. At that moment, everyone's gaze turned over. Everyone's faces looked shocked. What's going on? He actually managed to produce a 5-star potion. It must be fake, right? This is impossible. How can it be fake? The machine can't lie. Even a level 4-star pharmacist like Chen Xing couldn't do it. How did Lu Yu do it? Damn, is he really an all-rounder? That the crowd continued to debate, turning the area into a lively place. When Chen Sheng and Lu Xiao saw this, both of them were stunned, Chen Sheng, in particular, because he recalled the bet he had just made, 10 million. Although he could afford it, he still felt pain in his heart. Most importantly, he was a 4-star pharmacist, but he was inferior compared to a fledgling youth. The magnitude of Lu Yu's talent made him sigh. What a terrifying talent. At that moment, Lu Xiao was dumbfounded. He had spent a lot of money to invite Chen Xing to stop Lu Yu from getting first place. However, under the current situation, it would be impossible for him to not get first place. Unless Lu Xiao also concocted a bottle of 5-star potion, then he would be on the same level as Lu Yu. It was already difficult for him to make a 3-star potion, and a 4-star potion was already at a level that he did not dare imagine himself making. The underlings beside Lu Xiao did not say a word at this moment, and their eyes were filled with helplessness. Lu Yu looked at Chen Sheng and asked, "Now, I should be the first place in this trial, right?" Chen Sheng could not refute Lu Yu's words because it was impossible for someone to have a higher score than Lu Yu. After all, the most difficult additional task they had was only a 3-star potion. Chen Sheng nodded helplessly. Also, I should be able to cash in on the 10 million you bet just now, right? Chen Sheng continued to nod. At that moment, Mr. Huang directly announced Lu Yu's first place result. When Chen Sheng heard this, tears could not help but appear in his eyes. After so many years of making medicine, he had never felt as aggrieved as he was today. 88 Chapter 88 Ancient Dragon Body Complete Form, 5-star Pharmacist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 88 Ancient Dragon Body Complete Form, 5-star Pharmacist. At that moment, Chen Xing looked at the group of new students with a helpless expression. His brows were tightly knit, and he was still in disbelief. Why did Lu Yu have to spend so much effort to finish the 1-star potion, and yet he could now finish brewing the 5-star potion this easily? He shook his head slightly, finding it hard to believe. What made him feel even worse was that he had bet against Lu Yu 10 million in cash plus the 5 million reward from the Pharmacist Union. Lu Yu just earned 15 million by brewing this medicine. He sighed helplessly. Everyone, I think the first place in this trial has already appeared, and that is your classmate, Lu Yu. The freshmen stopped what they were doing and looked at Lu Yu. What's going on? The first place has already been decided. That's right. We haven't finished preparing the medicine yet, and the result is already out. Are you serious? Didn't Lu Yu get a 5-star medicine to brew? Am I dreaming? Lu Yu completed making a 5-star medicine. What's going on? Even Chen Xing hadn't successfully concocted that 5-star potion, but Lu Yu finished it. That everyone looked at Lu Yu in surprise. Chen Xing had no choice but to continue speaking. Lu Yu just finished making a 5-star potion, so he is the champion of this test. You guys, continue to prepare your medicine to determine your placement in this trial. All the freshmen were shocked beyond belief. Lu Yu had just finished making a 1-star potion with great difficulty, but now he had finished brewing a 5-star potion faster than they had finished making a 3-star potion. No matter who, anyone in this scenario would feel that this was just ridiculous. Lu Xiao clenched his fists and widened his eyes. His heart was filled with resentment. He could not accept this result. He was born into a wealthy family, and under the guidance of a top-notch pharmacist, he was trained to create medicine since he was young. However, he was now inferior to a fledgling pharmacist. Could this be the difference in their talents? He could not accept this fact. Something's wrong. There's something wrong with this potion. He must have cheated. Lu Xiao shouted loudly. He could not accept that someone his age was so much stronger than him in creating pharmaceutical medicine. Chen Xing asked, "Do you think we can't tell if the potion is real or fake?" Lu Xiao did not care and continued to shout, "I'm the one who's supposed to be in first place in this trial. He must have used some kind of trick. It's impossible for him to produce a 5-star potion." Lu Xiao, who had been spoiled since he was young, could not accept his failure. He had never lost. This was why he could not accept the reality of the situation. If he could not get first place in the first 3 trials, that's fine, but the field of pharmaceuticals was his strong point. Seeing Lu Xiao shouting irrationally and refusing to admit his failure, Chen Sheng and the pharmacist beside him sighed. "Mr. Lu, the result is clear. Lu Yu is number 1. This is the result I gave, and you must accept it." Mr. Huang was also a pharmacist and an internal member of the Pharmacist Union. He had a high status within the union. If Lu Xiao wanted to continue on the path of a pharmacist in the future, he would eventually have to join the Pharmacist Union. Therefore, Lu Xiao carefully weighed the consequences silently and finally nodded helplessly. "Mr. Huang is right. I won't say any more." Lu Xiao was highly reluctant but didn't dare to say anything more. If he continued to act stubborn, he would be disgracing himself before this distinguished pharmacist. Su Mao and Zhao Kai were reluctant to accept this result in the freshman team. Lu Yu's outstanding performance was something the two of them couldn't bear. The tallest tree in a forest would be the first to be destroyed by a strong wind. At the same time, Lu Yu's impressive performance made the 3 of them unhappy, and they all felt a desire to take revenge. Lu Yu ignored the gazes of others and walked straight to Chen Sheng. "Instructor, can you fulfill your bet?" Chen Sheng's mouth twitched. 10 million was not a small amount. Although he had earned a lot of money over the years, most of it was invested in his pharmaceutical business. If he really were to fulfill this 10 million bet, he would undoubtedly feel the pain. "I understand," he said impatiently and took out a bank card from his pocket. "There are exactly $10 million inside this card. The password is written on the back. Take it." He handed the bank card over. Lu Yu reached out and took the bank card from his hand. However, Chen Sheng clenched his fingers tightly. At the same time, he gritted his teeth and showed a reluctant expression. "Instructor Chen, please let go." Chen Sheng reacted with an awkward smile and let go of his bank card. Seeing the bank card enter Lu Yu's pocket, Chen Sheng felt very uncomfortable. Lu Yu didn't care whether he was uncomfortable or not. He directly walked toward the newly arrived pharmacist. "Mr. Huang, right? I heard that your union is offering a reward for completing the dim dragon blood secret medicine. I will be rewarded with 5 million, right?" Hearing that, Mr. Huang quickly nodded and said, "Of course, not only that, you can also join our pharmacist union and be rated as a 5-star pharmacist." Hearing that, Chen Sheng felt like a knife was cutting his heart. The title of a 5-star pharmacist was the title that he dreamed of getting every single day. He did not expect a rookie pharmacist to reach 5-star faster than him. This was simply unacceptable. Lu Yu took the bank card that Mr. Huang handed over and shrugged, saying, "I won't consider being a pharmacist for the time being. Let's talk about it in the future." Chen Sheng's heart ached even more when he heard that. If he were to advance to the level of a 5-star pharmacist, he would hold a press conference to show off. Lu Xiao, standing at the side, had an even gloomier expression. His goal in life was to become a pharmacist. He would continue to create medicine and increase his capabilities, with the ultimate goal of joining the Pharmacists Union and becoming a 5-star pharmacist. Lu Yu had just completed all of Lu Xiao's life goals in one go. Such a vast difference made Lu Xiao gnash his teeth in hatred. After Lu Yu took the 15 million, he couldn't be bothered to waste his time talking with them. He simply found a chair and sat down, watching as the other freshmen continued to make their medicine. Although the others were envious of Lu Yu, they were all still engrossed in making their medicine. Although they couldn't get first place anymore, they still fought for second and third place. Lu Yu took out the dragon blood medicine in his hand. After sizing it up, he opened the lid and prepared to drink it. Since it was a dragon blood secret medicine, there shouldn't be any problem for him to drink it. After all, he had inherited the ancient dragon body. Medicine related to dragons could be drunk by him. Therefore, Lu Yu instantly drank the entire dim dragon blood secret medicine bottle in one go. Qinsheng's pupils constricted when he saw this, and his heart was bleeding. Did he drink the 5-star medicine on the spot? After drinking the medicine, Lu Yu began to feel the changes in his body. Soon, he felt the mysterious energy in his body spreading in all directions, filling Lu Yu's limbs and bones. Progress of the ancient dragon body complete form, increased by 2%. Current progress, 3%. Acquired attributes, attack increased by 20, defense increased by 20, mana increased by 20. Current attributes, attack, 400. Speed, 240. HP, 350. Mana, 220. Defense, 270. For every 10% increase in the ancient dragon body, there would be a significant change in your attributes. 89 Chapter 89, 4th Trial Complete, Astonishing Potential. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 89, 4th Trial Complete, Astonishing Potential. After drinking the medicine, a notification appeared before Lu Yu's eyes. After carefully reading this notification, Lu Yu came to a sudden realization. It turned out that his ancient dragon body wasn't complete, and his progress was only 3%. Although it was only 3%, he already had a pair of dragon claws and a pair of dragon eyes. He didn't know what changes it would bring when it reached 10%. Lu Yu was a little excited. He didn't expect that his constitution was still far from being thoroughly developed. He couldn't even imagine what kind of strength he would get when it was fully developed. However, this progress wasn't an easy one to improve. A bottle of 5-star potion, the dim dragon blood secret medicine, only increased it by 2%. It would probably take a long time for him to increase it to 100% of the complete form. It seemed that his focus in the future would be on the development of his constitution. The ingredients of this bottle of 5-star dim dragon blood secret medicine added up to more than 10 million. Lu Yu really couldn't afford such a sky-high price for these potions at the moment. His current savings hadn't even exceeded $20 million, and most importantly, his aunt was still in a top-tier hospital in Ixdale. Spending money in that kind of hospital was faster than burning it. If he wasn't careful, he might go bankrupt. It seemed that if he wanted to increase his strength quickly and, at the same time, provide his aunt with better treatment conditions, he had to earn more money. Initially, when he was in then railer state, Lu Yu thought that earning hundreds of thousands, or even $1 million, was already enough. However, when he arrived in Ixdale, he realized that 10 to 20 million was nothing here. The other freshmen finished their tasks one after another. Some finished their tasks perfectly, while others chose to give up because it was too difficult. Qinsheng checked their finished products one by one, gave them a fair appraisal, and recorded them in his files. Then, he began to announce the results of this test loudly. First place, Lu Yu. Second place, Lu Xiao. Third place, He Yang. Soon, Qinsheng read out everyone's results from the test. All the freshmen lined up again. When they heard the test results, some were happy and disappointed. The test has officially ended. All of you can prepare for the next trial of the academy. You may leave now. After disbanding the crowd, a teleportation door opened in front of them, leading them straight to the square of the academy. With complicated emotions, the students passed through the teleportation door one after another and returned to the university square. Upon returning to the square, the crowd realized that the 5 deans were no longer waiting for them. Where is the dean of the commanding academy? Why isn't he here? The other deans aren't here either. Where did they all go? Is the upcoming trial still being held today? Everyone was confused. Qinsheng picked up his phone and took a look at the message. Then, he looked at the freshmen and said, "Everyone, I've received some news. The commanding academy's test is scheduled for tomorrow. Everyone, please go back and prepare for the next trial." When the freshmen heard the news, they all dispersed and went back to make their preparations for the subsequent trial. In the crowd, Yun Zairu and Su Qing walked through the crowd and trotted to Lu Yu. Both of them had excited smiles as they ran to Lu Yu. "A 5-star potion, and you actually managed to make it," Su Qing said in surprise. "I didn't expect your pharmaceutical skills to be this high. Why don't you become my family's pharmaceutical consultant, and I'll support you?" Yun Zairu chuckled. "Stop joking. I don't have enough pharmaceutical experience. Lu Yu was telling the truth, but Yun Ziru refused to believe it. How can a person with the skills of a 5-star pharmacist not have enough pharmaceutical experience? Yun Ziru felt that Lu Yu was joking. Lu Yu shook his head helplessly. He didn't want to say anything more in this area. Let's go. It's time to go back. The three of them walked toward the parking area together. The 5 deans left at the same time. They didn't even greet us and even postponed the test. Did something happen? Su Qing guessed as she walked. Lu Yu shrugged. It has nothing to do with us. Let's wait until tomorrow. At the same time, in the top conference room of the academy, in the luxuriously decorated conference room, 5 people were sitting upright. In front of them was the president of Clan North Academy, Gu Zhanyan. Behind the 6 of them was a giant screen. The screen displayed the recording of Lu Yu's test. Everyone, it's clear to us now that student Lu Yu is a rare genius. To achieve astonishing results in all 4 aspects is not something an ordinary person can achieve. No matter how amazing the geniuses of the previous years were, they weren't even 1/10 of Lu Yu's. His performance is truly worthy of being recorded in history. Gu Zhanyan said, with a serious expression. The 5 deans seated below all fell into deep thought. The president is right. We must pay more attention to Lu Yu. He is too important to us. Liang Bo said solemnly. The other deans spoke, one after another. I think it's not ridiculous even if we devote all our resources to training him. His future is bound to be limitless. If we can help him quickly reach the peak of his strength, he will thank us in the future. Clan North University got another top student. Every year, Clan North University sends a large number of talents into society. These talents would go into all walks of life. Some reached the top and were able to repay their alma mater. Because of these students, Clan North University's position as the #1 university in the country was unshakable. Therefore, they paid great attention to the top geniuses among the freshmen. Gu Zhanyan nodded slightly. What you guys said is true. However, let's continue to observe him and see what kind of situation he's in. This level of strength doesn't match his age. Yes, the 5 of them replied in unison. At that moment, Lu Yu brought Yun Ziru and Su Qing back to the university's villa area. It was still early, so Lu Yu felt he could do something else. Ever since he came to Ixtale, he had not visited his aunt. Lu Yu decided to visit his aunt and check on her condition. Hence, Lu Yu drove out again and arrived at the university center. There was a teleportation node in the academy. From here, one could be teleported to Ixtale or a few nearby big cities. In this world, only ordinary people would move by car. Cultivators were more inclined to use teleportation arrays. Moreover, the location of Clan North University was a secret. If he drove, he would probably get lost. After arriving at the teleportation node in the university, Lu Yu saw all kinds of array formations around him. The patterns on each array formation were utterly different. Lu Yu quickly found the array formation to teleport to Ixtale and opened the teleportation door. 90 Chapter 90 Sky High Medical Expenses. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 90 Sky High Medical Expenses. A flash of light blinded Lu Yu's eyes after passing through the teleportation door. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself in a bustling metropolis. There were also other people here who had been teleported from all over the country. Some of them were here for the first time and were instantly attracted by the bustling city. Lu Yu quickly went to the roadside and hailed a taxi. He quickly made his way to the central hospital in Ixtale. Soon, the taxi arrived at the entrance of the central hospital. Lu Yu paid the fare and walked into the hospital. He quickly walked toward his aunt's ward and came to the entrance. Lu Yu pushed the door open and walked in. The ward Lu Yu was staying in was a single room. The decoration was simple yet exquisite, like a high-end bedroom. Lu Yu came to the front of the hospital bed and carefully looked at his aunt's haggard face. Her face was still deathly pale, and there was not a trace of blood on her face. Moreover, she seemed to have fallen into a coma. Even with Lu Yu making a noise as he pushed the door, coming in, he did not wake her up. Lu Yu sat in front of the hospital bed and held her right hand with both of his hands. Aunt, I got first place in all 4 trials. I did not embarrass you, nor did I let you down for raising me. Believe me, I can definitely cure you. Lu Yu said, With a heavy tone, at that moment, the ward's door was pushed open, and the attending doctor walked in. When he saw Lu Yu, he quickly walked over. "You're finally here. Let's settle the medical fees first." He handed the bill over. Lu Yu took a closer look and was shocked. "She's only been here for a few days, and it already cost 10 million. Lu Yu was speechless at the sky-high bill. The cost was too ridiculous. The attending doctor explained, "There are many reasons why it's 10 million. First of all, this is the Central Hospital of Ixdale. It represents the top hospital in the country. Countless rich people are queuing just to come in for a doctor's visit, so the cost is naturally high. Moreover, your aunt is staying in a luxurious single room, increasing the cost even further. Secondly, your aunt's condition is special. Our hospital has arranged for 3 or 4 top-notch doctors to discuss a treatment plan together. This will not be a small sum of money. Also, maintaining her vital signs requires a lot of medicine. These are all expenses, so how can it not be at a high cost?" Hearing this, Lu Yu could only helplessly nod his head. He had no other choice. After all, other hospitals could not treat his aunt's illness, only this place could. "I want to ask, how long can 15 million last?" The attending doctor frowned and thought for a moment before saying, "About a month. When a month has passed, you can continue for the next payment." Lu Yu nodded helplessly. "All right, then I'll pay for this month's medical fees first." Lu Yu took out the 2 bank cards he had just obtained and followed the attending doctor to the counter to swipe them. 15 million were spent in just a split second. He had spent all the money he had just got in the blink of an eye before he could even use it. Moreover, his future expenses would only increase, whether it was his aunt's medical expenses or the expenses he would need for his future cultivation. Both were massive amounts. It looked like he had to earn more money as soon as possible. After handing over the money, Lu Yu returned to the teleportation node in the city center. He took his student ID card from Clannorth University and successfully teleported back to the university. On the way back to the villa, Lu Yu tried to think of more ways to earn money. He even wanted to sell the villa and luxury car allocated by the university, as they would be able to sell for a lot of money. Lu Yu realized that if he relied on his pharmaceutical skills, he would definitely be able to earn a lot of money. With his Eye of the Dragon God, there was no medicine that Lu Yu could not make unless he did not have the necessary materials. However, he was a freshman now, so it was not good for him to focus on making money instead of his studies. As he thought about it, Lu Yu drove to the villa area. However, he saw from afar that there seemed to be a few figures standing at the entrance of his villa. At that moment, Su Mao, Zhao Kai, and Lu Xiao, with 7 or 8 underlings, surrounded the villa's entrance. The 3 of them gathered together and discussed something in a low voice. "You guys asked me to come together and deal with Lu Yu. Are you sure? What if we can't beat him?" Su Mao said, with lingering fear. He was the only one among the 3 who had fought against Lu Yu. That slap had left him traumatized, so, until now, he was a little afraid of Lu Yu. From the beginning, he was unwilling to follow these 2 people to provoke Lu Yu. Zhao Kai asked unhappily, "Young Master Su, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting so cowardly today? This isn't like you. Bring out your pride." Su Mao swallowed his saliva. Of course, he wanted to be prideful. He didn't want to say that he was sent flying by Lu Yu's slap, so he could only grit his teeth and agree to their suggestion. Lu Xiao patted his chest. "Don't be afraid. I've brought so many people with me today. What's there to be afraid of? Just do it." Zhao Kai felt slightly scornful of Lu Xiao's bandit-like behavior. However, he also needed Lu Xiao's men. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to defeat him by himself. "Let's wait for that guy to come out. Then, we'll teach him a lesson, and it's best if we beat him until he's crippled. Then, he won't be able to participate in the trial tomorrow." Lu Xiao said hatefully. He was resentful for having his first place snatched away. While a few of them were waiting, they suddenly heard the sound of car brakes. Everyone turned around at the same time and saw a car parked behind them. The car door opened, and Lu Yu got out of the vehicle. "You guys are blocking my entrance. What's the matter?" Lu Yu asked. Lu Xiao brought everyone and instantly surrounded Lu Yu. "You finally showed up. I thought you were going to stay a coward, hiding in the villa. That Lu Xiao revealed a mocking expression. Lu Yu asked impatiently, if you have something to say, can you just say it? I don't want to waste my time here. That Lu Xiao laughed loudly, looks like you're in a hurry to get beaten up. Sure, I'll grant your wish. That Lu Yu glanced at him and said, looks like you brought others here to fight with me. Why, are you afraid? Just a few of you don't deserve to make me afraid. But, why would I want to fight with you even if I have nothing to do? Lu Yu was very annoyed and wanted to go around them. He didn't want to waste time on these people. Lu Xiao took a step sideways and blocked Lu Yu. I think you are afraid. If you don't dare to fight, I will bring my men and rush into the villa. At that time, your two little girlfriends will be in trouble. That Lu Xiao's face revealed a cold smile. Lu Yu looked straight at Lu Xiao and said in a low tone, since you want to fight with me so much, that's fine too. But I will not fight for nothing. Let's make a bet. Hearing this, Lu Xiao smiled smugly. He was just waiting for Lu Yu to accept the challenge. He didn't care about what was on the line. As long as he could fight Lu Yu, he would do anything. The three of them knew the swiftness of Lu Yu's speed. If Lu Yu didn't want to fight, they wouldn't be able to catch up. Lu Yu thought of the medical fees he had just paid, so he said, the three of you are here to challenge me. How about this? Each of you bet 2 million. If you lose, you'll all give me 6 million.